Do you have a vintage machine like this one, where the tensioner actually sticks out from the front and makes you crazy in the head when you're trying to thread that? Well, we're going to fix that right now. One of the biggest mysteries of vintage machines is, how do you thread this guy, the tensioner, right? So what we're going to do is go over that. First thing is I'm going to zoom in here so that we're not blurry, but you can see the details that are going on with the tensioner here. So here we have our tensioner, and it's important to note this spring right here, because that's what we have to work with on our vintage tensioner in order for it to work right. So when you're threading the top of your machine and the thread comes down, it's going to come down through the front here, and it's going to go between one of these plates on the side. So as it goes between those plates, then it's going to come up here, and notice how the thread is pulling on the little spring. What you want to do is put your finger on your spool at the top and pull this spring back. See, I've pulled that back with the thread, and then when I release it, notice how the thread is now on the other side of this hook, coming out from the spring. Okay, to show you guys that again, see if I can get it on the other side. When the thread comes up for the first time, you're going to pull this spring back, get the thread beyond it, and then when you let it down, see how the thread goes onto the other side of this hook? That's the most important part. It then can go up from here and into your take-up lever, so you can finish the rest of your threading. And that is how you deal with a vintage tensioner. So that is how we work with a vintage tensioner like we have on our 1962 blue bomber here. Your tensioner should look very similar if it's on a vintage machine. Remember, you've got to get that spring back and get the thread over the hook for it to work correctly. If you like this tip and you want to know a lot more, make sure you come down and take a class. I'm Tish at his studio. I'd love to have you, love to see you, and hopefully I'll see you in class soon.